Jacob, you had some itch about movies, but I'm gonna help launchpad you into this. So what really bugs me about some of these space movies is how it starts out right away with just one astronaut or person on board a really huge ship that's probably 3 football fields long that could fit 300 to 500 people, and there's only one person on it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Chad, I would challenge you to think of a good example of that actually, because I've gone through the movies that I can think of, and usually there is some reason why they're alone. Do you have an example of one
Hmm.
where they just inexplicably are on the ship?
I did at the top of my I wanted to say the recent one that was coming out.
Project Hail Mary.
Hail Mary. Yes, because I
Yeah,
saw
so
the
that's one of the ones
previews
that does
and I
have a
only saw
reason.
one person on there.
Ah, yes. I'll get to it in a minute. So, most of the time, as far as I can remember, and there may be a few examples where this isn't the case, but usually there's some kind of major catastrophe that kills the rest of the crew just for dramatic intrigue. Like 2001: A Space Odyssey, you've got Hal, who intentionally kills the rest of the crew.
Yes, he
You've
does.
got Gravity, where the ship blows up after some shrapnel hits it. You've got The Martian,
The
similar
Martian hat. Yeah.
situation. The Martian base explodes. And then Project Hail Mary just came out, and that also had a situation similar to Gravity, where just the crew died. Um, so you've got Ryan Gosling's character is the only person left alive. Now, I do think that one's a little bit different because they don't quite explain why his crewmates died, and that probably is there just for dramatic effect. Um,
I
and I
will
don't know.
say, sorry to interrupt you, that is explained in the book.
Okay,
To really get
yeah,
everything out of that movie, you
The
kind of
book.
have to have read the book.
It's always about the
mm,
book.
makes
Put in all the
sense.
details there.
Yeah, but always there seems to be some kind of reason why the astronauts are alone. It's not just that they are thrown out on a space mission by themselves. But I do get your frustration with this trope because, I was a Boy Scout. We always had to follow the buddy system. You don't go anywhere alone. And in space, it's more like the triple system. You got to have at least three guys doing something. Uh, the only movie that I can sort of think of that really falls into this category is Moon, because it's only got one guy at the moon base,
Oh yeah,
but that
yeah, I
guy is
remember
also a
that.
clone. And sorry, spoilers, but he's a clone, and there's a bunch of extra clones in the basement that can just replace him at any time. So
Hmm.
it almost negates the trope because he's completely replaceable, and that can happen at any time. And there's no, so he is alone if he even exists at all, which isn't made clear in the movie. So if you have an idea, viewers, if you have an idea where this movie trope actually comes from, please let us know in the comments section. And if you have an example of somebody actually getting sent into space alone in the first place, not that they had a crew that died, I would love to hear about it. I'd love to watch that movie and maybe in a future After Dark explore that more.
Actually, off the top of my or there was some movies I have seen where the mission right away starts completely solo, but for absolute no reason that it needed to be solo. Um,
Hmm.
but now here's the thing about that. I know I get maybe the crew getting killed off and then creating that situation where the audience is now put into more of a claustrophobia feel. I get that. However, I feel that then the storytelling flexibility gets really choked up. Like you start losing the ability to be creative in storytelling when you're down to the one crew person. So I feel it may hurt certain movies if they have solo crew, but it may help certain movies if the movie is supposed to be from the ground up like a thriller. So I'm hoping I'm getting that right. Maybe that's a little bit of that logic.
Yeah, it definitely increases the fear aspect of the movie, which we see that a lot in Gravity and The Martian. Project Hail Mary has that rock creature thing, the alien that,
Rock creature.
yeah, yeah, he's kind of cool. He's a cool guy. But
Not
Ryan
like the
Gosling
one
talks
in
to him, so it's not completely alone. And then 2001: A Space Odyssey, of course, is kind of that psychological thriller. So I
yeah.
think most of the time there is some kind of arc in the story that frames it, and there is a reason why the astronauts alone.
Okay, yeah. I think we nailed that one there. We should start making movies. Now that we got all that information.
Heck no, I don't got the money.
Yeah, it is an expensive endeavor. All right. So I wanted to squeeze in the fact that I know we haven't done a show in a while, but there were some great launches that have happened around the SLS launch. We had the Atlas V go up on March 29th, launching the Amazon Leo satellites. We had a Vulcan launch just before that, so it was great to see that one go up. And yeah, within the last 30 days, that's definitely the launch cadence I love to see. Some really good, powerful rockets with different companies go up into space. We like that because that's jobs here. Everybody needs a job, and more space companies that are here has more opportunities for everybody. So
We are pro jobs here at Orbital Edge.
yes, very. And if any of you out there want to try out doing something like this, hit us up. Info at orbitaledge.net if you want to contribute in any way to help make our show better. So we're looking for anybody between communicators all the way to people who can create simple creative images on our Instagram or Blue Sky. So big diverse of a work product here. I just want to be able to grow and reach more audiences that are out there, so we're not just doing YouTube. All right, so there was a New Glenn launch yesterday morning, but it failed. But the mission failed. Just to be clear, the rocket actually they reused a booster already on a third launch, which is ultra impressive. They landed it on the drone ship. So that part of the mission was great, but the second stage decided to die. So wrong orbit, it's actually re-entering. So we may cover this and why it happened in a space pod. So again, make sure you're subscribed so that if that video does come out, you'll be able to learn what really happened. Yeah, so as you can see right now, we're not in a studio. We just call it the COVID edition of After Dark because we just couldn't quite make things work out this month to get into the studio. Long story that we will not talk about. And I want to talk about NASA and how I'm not too proud of them. And none of this is in any of your show notes. So be prepared to be stunned. So it was my displeasure to see how some people were online on social media abusing the badge. So these are people that somehow got press credentials to be on NASA property for the Artemis II launch and had decided to, I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, just because we don't want to be people to start fights with anybody, because we're more inclusive and we don't want to be known as people who shot the first shot, and whatever. But it was sad to see some posts on there not telling NASA's story, screwing around, just absolutely not being professional at all on NASA property. So For those people who are screwing off, on government property like that, I have no problem turning these people in because I do know how to reach press accreditation through email, or I even got their several phone numbers from them. So I, the person that needs to see this is probably not going to see this, but I do need to make it generally aware that NASA sometimes lets things through their grip, where people aren't more or less serious about this. So I don't know if any of you've seen anything out there from people that have been on, at the press site or even inside like mission control doing any sort of, goofing off, taking their cell phone and doing weird memes and stuff like that. Because I saw a few of those, it's kind of pissed me off. And it it's very disturbing that they're the ones who get the badge, but we don't get the badge when what we do is serious stuff. So that's about all I have to say about that. Is anybody else have anything that they want to talk about space that has happened in the last week?
I will
I just
share
want
that this is just a quick little story. I At my school we almost had the chance to see the Orion capsule with one of our telescopes. We had perfect conditions, perfectly clear night. We did the math. It was going to be just about the right magnitude, but we ended up, ironically, not being able to see it because the moon was too bright.
Ah,
Yeah.
counterintuitive, counterintuitive in a weird way.
Yeah.
All right. Usually what I do in After Dark, I have everybody have Reddit open, like to their favorite space Reddit or whatever, and see if we can pull stories from there.
I
But
do have to run to get to a meeting.
yeah. Yeah, we're at 6:02. So yes. All right, everybody, if you've enjoyed this, like and subscribe, share this to everybody. Oh yeah. I'm Chad, the host for Orbital Edge. We've got Jacob, the co-host, Julia, our astronomy correspondent, Kevin, spaceflight correspondent. So we're gonna head out, and we'll see you all in 1 month. Bye
bye.
bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.